we're gonna cut in a switch box. So the first thing we do is we straighten the wires. If you can see, go around there. You straighten the wires and strap them into your box, nice and tight. We don't do service loop. After you got the wires in the box, you're gonna cut the Romex. I use a Romex cutting tool so I don't skin the wire. So here we go. You just dig it in, push it up, and pull it back. And you wanna skin the wires. The code says you gotta have a 1/4 inch in the box of Romex sheathing. So this sheathing. So skin it to about a 1/4 inch or as high as you can get it, leaving more than a 1/4 inch. All right, I'm just gonna skin this again, so just so you guys can see. So dig this in, pull it out, push it up about a 1/4 inch, and I slide it down. Okay, and then you wanna do is you wanna get the sheathing and the paper, at the same time. So just get the paper. This one's being a pain in the ass. And then you just take your knife and cut it out. So when I put these wires down the wall, I put them in order, right? So the first two, these two here, they're in the same hole. They're 14 gauge, so I put them in the same hole. Those are my feeds. So I know these go in and go out, and that's my power feed coming in. Then I do my switch order, right? So the first switch is gonna be the mirror or the vanity light. So that's going to be in the first box, and then everything that I want after that, to go in after that. So my first switch here is going to be the mirror and the vanity. The second switch is going to be the fan. Okay, so now I don't need to know what's what because I put them in methodically. All right, now that I've got them all stripped, I then get them in order. So the first thing I do is I wire my grounds up. So what I do is I get all my grounds so they don't crisscross in the box. So I'm gonna get all my grounds, and then I'm gonna get it to where it's not gonna be a mess. Come around, right? So I'm gonna just go like this, okay? So once I got all my grounds separated, I then push the wires back in the box. So they're all the way back, okay? And then go from there. And then I'll wire my grounds, okay? I pick the longest one. All right, so we use the green ground screws. So what I do is I take the longest one and I set it back. And the distance you want these, like, oh, how far do I cut the things? So what I do is I want this wire to sit flat in this box, right? So I will cut it to where when I put the wire nut on, the wire nut's gonna sit in the box without having to be wired twice. So that's how I do it. I'm gonna cut these, which is right here. Okay? So cut those there. Okay. Grab my green wire nut. Make sure they're all the same length so they all catch. And twist it on. Now when I fold this in, it's gonna fit right in there without any hesitation because it's the same length. So keeps a clean box, but I don't fold it in until the end. All right, now after we did the grounds, we do our neutral. So I know that these two wires to the right are gonna be a constant hot or a feed. So I'm gonna make those neutrals go together. And this is a switch leg. All of this is switch leg, so I know all the neutrals go together in this box, okay? So I do the exact same thing, except with the neutrals. With the neutrals, I don't leave a pigtail, okay? You always want to leave enough out of the box so you can work with it if you have to come in here and fix it. All right, now that I got my wires, I can stuff my boxes. So the first one I do is my ground, stuff it in the back, my neutral. Because you're not gonna have, if all goes well, you're not gonna have to deal with those again, because you're gonna put the wires for the switches. So I'm just gonna get this ground out of the way. All right, now I got my 3 switches. Now these are in order, so I know what they are. So this is how we mark a switch leg. right? You take it and you loop it like that. And then when you get ready for your switch, you loop this around the wire. So you know that when you come to switch this out, install the switch, because if it's a different crew, you know they know which one's which. And that's that. And then all of these go to the thing. So I need to mark all these so they all know that these are switches to the fan. Okay? All right, and as I'm going, I'm stacking these how they're gonna fold in the box. So ground on top, so nothing crisscrosses. Now I'm gonna do my constant hots and get my pigtails for my switches. So we know that these two were our constant hots, so these are gonna have to get spliced together, and I have to create 2 pigtails for 2 switches. Okay? Cut those off. Do the same thing. Okay. So now, this only got 4 wires, so it's going to get a yeller. Okay, put that on there, get it started, finish it off. Okay, and now that's spliced together. I got my power coming in, I got my power going out, and I have 2 pigtails for 2 switches. So these are my hots for the switches to control the switches for the power, or for the lights or in fans.